Nested into the landscape of beautiful North Idaho sits a century-old farm where history runs deep and our recipients of the coveted President's Cup reside.
I'm Bob Callahan, world, and this is my wife, Cle. We've been married 65 years.
With a degree from the U of I in agronomy, which is the science of soil management and the production of field crops, Bob and Cle began their journey, first locating in Aberdeen. The combination of a need for insurance and advice from a friend led Bob to Farm Bureau.
I became interested in the Farm Bureau when we lived in southern Idaho. We had a very small farm near Aberdeen, Idaho, and when it came time for us to look for insurance, and one of our acquaintances was an insurance man, and he talked us into purchasing Farm Bureau insurance.
It was the early 80s when Bob and Cle moved north, and
at that time I started realizing what Farm Bureau really did, and found out that not only is it the largest farm organization in the state, it's also one of the most effective. To me, I see Farm Bureau dealing with important issues for agriculture, and it's not that other organizations don't do the same, but this organization deals with important issues in every aspect of farming, every corner of the industry.
We feel that they have integrity, they have strong core values, and we appreciate that very much.
In the last 40 years, Bob has been active on the county, state, and national level of the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation, county board member, state board member, and his most rewarding volunteer service, a member of the State Resolutions Committee.
Well, we've gone over this each year the past few years.
But I have been on the State Resolutions Committee, and I consider that to be one of the most fruitful and one of the most satisfying committees that I've ever been on, because it's one that pores over the policy and resolutions with a fine-tooth comb in much detail. Being a part of a group like that is, to me, very important, because we provide counsel for the General Assembly of Farm Bureau, the individual representatives of each county when they meet together in December. We'll do that this December. We'll be looking at all of the issues that have been reviewed by the counties, by the districts, individual districts, of which there are 5 in the state, and then by the State Resolutions Committee that finally looks over them, makes recommendations to the Assembly in the annual meeting.
And the Callihan family's love for the farm life is historic.
I grew up on this farm, the original portion of this farm. My father added to it over his lifetime. It started out with 38 acres, and he built it up to 320 some acres.
The farm setting is rolling Idaho Palouse with beautiful timber stands on the ridges mixed in with fertile dryland farm ground. The creek bottom ground was once the log pond for the Potlatch sawmill located downstream. The original house still stands today with a piece of interesting history.
That house came from Sears Roebuck.
What?
I'm not kidding. The interior, they did a lot of changing, and as they tore out walls, they found tags identifying the Sears Roebuck purchase.
And standing tall at the entrance to the farm, a family monument with many, many stories of the history on this century-old farm.
Well, each of these rocks that designate a place identifies the parcel that makes up the current place as it now is. And the first place that was purchased was the home place, 1919. And after that, each of these represents a place that was purchased after that. The rocks around the other side were made by the people that have lived here. The members of my family, the Callihans, and their families who have lived here. And these were placed here when we had a celebration in order to memorialize the the 100-year anniversary of the place. Each of the kids painted their own rocks. They had a great time doing it. We spent some time down here talking about the farm and what it meant to them, and singing songs and telling stories, and it became an emotional time for some of them. And it was for me too. I was really impressed by what the farm had meant to many of them.
The Idaho Farm Bureau thanks you for your many years of volunteer service. Bob and Cle Callihan, in 2019, recipients of the President's